Hi everyone, so good to be back with you today. I'd like to share a song that I recently wrote called The Journey. Walk with me and talk with me as I journey on this path. Either way, though I may stray, our bond forever last. Each new day, blessings flow, each night a rest so sweet. So walk with me and talk with me, and always guide my feet. All I see, each flower and tree, and every blade of grass, the stars at night shining so bright, their beauty shall not pass. Every living creature connected, one and all. So hold my hand and I will stand in oneness with it all. Each rocky road and heavy load, a lesson to be learned. The twists and winding paths I take, my heart and mind are turned into a deeper wisdom within me growing now. So walk with me and talk with me, the oneness I allow. So walk with me and talk with me, the oneness I allow.
Oh, hello, and thank you so much, Julie Ross. What a beautiful original song, The Journey. Oh, just loving it. Boy, and we have another original song coming, which I cannot wait. And welcome everyone to our Sunday Fellowship for Today service on this lovely spring, first day of spring day. So glad that you could be here with us. And let's start with a centering prayer, centering meditation. So just invite you just to find a comfortable position and just putting your feet on the floor and just feeling all four corners of your foot, the feet, and sitting upright, feeling our sit bones and the support of the earth and of the chair. And just taking a few slow, deep breaths together. Inhaling as one and exhaling together as one. We're just preparing for our inner listening and for aligning with the divine. And we're just noticing the rhythm and flow of your own breath. And just let it soften and slow. And let's take a moment and think of resting in God, resting in love. And just taking a rest from all the activities of our lives. Could be all the going places, the doing, the getting, the helping, the learning, and everything that we do with an ing at the end. And just taking some time to relax, and just relax in spirit. Just taking a moment to be centered in our spirituality. And in this relaxed space, we can feel our heartbeat and matching the heartbeat of creation. And just let yourself go to the grace of this two-way flow. And let yourself be filled and cradled by the love of the sacred within and all around you. And may our time together today at this fellowship service just replenish us, illuminate and inspire us. And so it is. And my reading today is from from two of my favorite authors. They co-wrote this, Robert Holden and Louise Hay. And this is Robert Holden speaking. One of my favorite Louise Hay principles is, the only thing we are ever dealing with is a thought, and a thought can be changed. Most of the time, when we are in pain, it's because we are responding to our thoughts about something. The pain is mind-made. It is a sign that we are literally suffering from psychology. The way out of suffering is to make friends with your mind and remind yourself that you are the thinker of your thoughts. Happiness is only ever one thought away.
Here's a sing-along song. It's a first guiding principle song by our dear Lucille Olson. The essence of our being is spirit. The essence of our being is spirit. The spirit of love unites us all. You can call it Allah, wisdom, peace, or love. Alpha and Omega, it's there if we but call. The essence of our being is spirit. The spirit, the source of life for all. We are all connected, our common thread is love. Our spiritual expression, our source, our all in all. The essence of our being is spirit. The spirit of love unites us all. You can call it Allah, wisdom, peace, or love. Alpha and Omega, it's there if we but call. The essence of our being is spirit. The spirit, the source of life for all. We are all connected, our common thread is love. Our spiritual expression, our source, our all in all. The essence of our being is spirit.
And now it's time for the blessings of our tithes and offerings. So I invite you maybe just to gaze down or close your eyes, and let's just for a moment, let's envision our fellowship growing and thriving, and even more so, and just deepening our beautiful connections and with each other and our planet. And this time, would love to just thank you from my heart for all the wonderful gifts and the donations and blessings that everyone gives so readily to the fellowship. So thank you so much. It's so appreciated. And now we'll do our blessings and the words of the tithes and offering. They'll be right up there on the screen. So let's read them together. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying these tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. Thanks. And now it's time for me to introduce our wonderful, dear, guiding light, our spiritual director, Reverend Mary Sabai.
Hello, everyone. This week I was thinking about our St. Patrick's Day celebration last year and really remembering the feeling of being together with all of you. It was, as it always is, such a wonderful celebration with such delicious food, and being able to sit together at our tables and talk and play games, and we had Irish songs, Irish blessings. It was just a fun time to be together. And of course, after that St. Patrick's Day celebration, the very next day, our Sunday services became virtual experiences because we had made the decision that it wasn't safe to be together any longer because of the pandemic. We had to find a way quickly to transition to a way of being together, of staying connected. And we did that. And I've talked about this in the past a few times, the fact that, you know, we made that transition. It's been improving over the last year. It's amazing that it has been a year. And all of us have stayed together. We have come together, whether we're watching right now during the live stream or watching the service later, that's fine too. But it's always so much fun to feel that togetherness of the live stream. And just like it is now, we were embarking on a spring, a new spring. Last year it was a spring of beginning to think about how do I transition from normal life to staying inside and being cautious, protecting ourselves and our friends and family and community. This year we have a different feeling, I think, going into this spring. And there's a feeling of hope and of change. And that's such a wonderful, wonderful thing to think that it won't be too long now before we can be together again. I was thinking about spring too, and remembering that when I was young, spring was actually my least favorite season. I did not look forward to it at all. And I realize now that it was because I wanted the immediate gratification of summer, of the warm weather, of the sunshine. And it just seemed like spring drug on forever. There were a few warm days here, a few, then a few cold days, and it just seemed like forever until we had that full-fledged burst of leaves and flowers and beautiful sunshiny days. But as I've gotten older, I have realized how beautiful the unfolding of spring is. I really appreciate and love to watch this gradual unfolding and be aware of it and notice it. There are some things that I know when I begin to notice them, that yes, spring is here and we're on our way. One of those is getting ready in the morning and going down to get into the car to go to work, and being able to walk down the stairs without turning on the light in the hall because it's light outside. Another thing is watching this little patch of flowers, bulbs, outside my building in Mason, my office building, that begin to shoot up through the ground, these beautiful little stems shooting up. I listen for the birds chirping as I'm waking up in the morning, and I watch for that first robin. It's always kind of exciting, Some years it's later than others, and I'm beginning to think, where is my little robin? And eventually I see him. But what I've learned to appreciate is the gradual unfolding, and being able to acknowledge that precious, treasured moment of seeing something, feeling something, and witnessing and experiencing the change that we undergo. And just like spring unfolds, our spiritual awakening is the same kind of unfolding. Sure, there are some people who just have this big bang and they're completely awake. Oftentimes that doesn't last forever. Sometimes it does. But for most of us, it's a very gradual unfolding. And we can get impatient with that. We can choose to accept and find those beautiful treasured moments, just as we do with the change of a new season. But it seems like once we say yes, urge within us that calls to us, that says there's more. There's something so much larger than what you're experiencing, than what you've been aware of. And I want to show it to you. Once we say yes to that, then it seems like things just start showing up. And I know most of you out there listening today can remember those times and still have them. I still do. We have, the books that start showing up, and the people that show up, the teachers, just at the right moment, just at the right time, saying just the right thing to open our minds and open our hearts to this awareness of who we truly are, the essence of love, the essence of the one divine presence. And so choice by choice, we say yes as these invitations and opportunities turn up. But we also can know that and remember that we experience a change along the way, and everything changes, and we could expect that our spiritual awakening process will change. In those beginning years, it was exciting and fresh and new, and those light bulbs going on are amazing, and they still happen, and they still are. But I think many of you can appreciate the fact that along the way, there's a shift between this outer external process of finding the book, finding the teacher, experiencing the insight from reading a passage in a book, or listening to a video teaching, a shift to more of an inner unfolding. This gradual shift occurs, and it becomes this beautiful inner unfolding and inner awareness. Sometimes when this occurs, we can become a little complacent when we're not having the excitement and drama of all the new ideas and the new discoveries. But I just want to remind us all that, and remind myself, that this is even more beautiful. This is even more valuable and real when it comes from within. So it's so important that we take time every day to nurture that. So we can always choose again to keep saying yes, even though we're experiencing this subtle and gradual change. Choose to stay the course, and choose to continue to nurture and cultivate our relationship with God, with our source. And this is the thing that I just love so much about the fellowship. We have so many wonderful foundational teachings that continue to remind us over and over again, and we just can't be reminded enough. We just need to embrace them whenever we hear them and become aware of them, and bring them in again, because it grounds us once again. It brings us back to the love that we are within. We hear this wonderful teaching so often. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. But I think we can ask ourselves, how often, how much, how deeply do we identify with our spiritual identity? Or do we get pulled into and lost in our human experience? I'm not saying that we give up a deep and rich human experience, but what we're asking we're being asked to cultivate is maintaining that connection with our spiritual selves, our higher selves, God, our source, while we are having our human experience. One of the teachings that really, really was powerful for me years and years ago was from Eckhart Tolle, and I learned it from this book, The Power of Now. This book has been around for 22 years, published in 1999. And it says on the front, over 5 million copies have been sold. I was in the Barnes & Noble bookstore the other day and saw 5 or 6 copies on the shelf. So we know that years and years later, so many people are being touched by the wisdom of Eckhart Tolle. The thing that really touched me and helped me to begin to cultivate this connection with my spiritual self, my spiritual being, was what he calls the silent watcher or the silent observer, which is making a distinction between our human selves, being, going through our daily activities, thinking, feeling, believing, acting, And our silent higher self, that is our awareness, it's a pure consciousness beyond form. We are that always, but learning to make that distinction and allow ourselves to tap into that awareness helps us in two ways. And this is a practice that I've maintained since I sort of flipped that switch and turned on that silent watcher within. It helps us maintain our awareness of our true nature, and it helps us continue to be mindful of the way that we are walking through this world as a human being. It allows us to sort of stand back and silently and non-judgmentally watch what we are thinking, how we are feeling, what we are doing, all of these things. It's like watching a movie of the human walking through the world. And this helps because we can identify really quickly when we are becoming out of alignment with love, when we're beginning to feel bad about, in any way, depressed, sad, angry, jealous, anything that's off and out of love. We can identify that and begin to make correction, course correction. We can listen to our thoughts. We can listen to the words that we're saying to others and do that very same thing. When it's not coming from love, when it's coming from ego, we can identify that very quickly and make that course correction. We are so powerful. We have this ability to redirect and refocus our thoughts, refocus these energetic entities that are our thoughts and beliefs and our feelings from something negative to something positive. We have the power to elevate our emotions and to feel awe and peace, to feel abundance and joy and love, even in the absence of seeing it in our external world. And when we can cultivate the ability to do this, when we can recognize that we have this power and begin to practice it and cultivate it, then it impacts our ability to forgive and to feel grateful and to create a world that is beautiful and loving, kind and compassionate, an experience of our own. So as we move into this new spring season, and we begin to appreciate the gradual unfolding of nature, changing from this winter sparseness to the beautiful lushness of summer, I would also invite us to become aware and choose to say yes continually to our spiritual unfolding, our awakening and the awakening of everyone on this planet. It's always happening. Spiritual awakening is always happening. It's only our awareness of it that can be delayed or withdrawn. So when we say yes, when we choose to connect with love, we can accept and trust that all is well and all is love. Thank you. So let's just take a few minutes to share in a brief meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and we'll relax once again. Let your shoulders drop. And let's just take 2 deep breaths together. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And as we follow our breath, we release all that is of this world. And we become aware and conscious of a vast, silent spaciousness. Spaciousness beyond time and beyond space. And now just flood your body with consciousness. Your mind, your heart, your entire body. Just fill it with awareness. And feel the energy of this pure awareness. This consciousness that lives through you, that experiences life through you. Feel the freedom, the complete liberation. Feel the shift in our energy as love increases our vibration, raises our vibration. And we'll just rest here for a few moments. Be aware, what does this look like for you? What does this feel like for you? In this space, we know that this is our natural state. This is real, and this is love. Remember this feeling. And as we come back into the room, come back to our human awareness, we open our eyes and smile. We know that we can take this with us, that it dwells within us always. And we give thanks. We give thanks for this knowing, for these experiences of pure love and pure consciousness. And we're grateful for this ever expanding, ever growing awareness and consciousness that we are a part of. Thank you so much. and every thought becomes a prayer.
Hi everyone, Julie here. I'm happy to be back with you. I'd like to share a song with you today that I recently wrote called Hidden Treasure. Divine teacher, inner sanctum, my hidden treasure, master and healer, father and mother and God of all. The wonders that connects every single being, the thing that binds us together, one and all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, we have the light within us all, ever with me and flowing through me and always there, walking beside me, right there to guide me, my breath, my air, the ones that connects every single being, the thing that binds us together, one and all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, we have the light within us all. This hidden treasure we have within us shine brightly, providing guidance, peace and assurance that we're not alone. The wonders that connects every single being, the thing that binds us together, one and all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, we have the light within us all. Oh, how I wonder at the glory of your creation. I feel grateful, so very thankful for all I am. The wonders that connects every single being, the thing that binds us together, one and all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, we have the light within us all. And so it is now, and ever was, and ever shall be. Eternal life force abides within me and never dies. The wonders that connects every single being, the thing that binds us together, one and all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, we have the light within us all. We are divine peace, we are divine love, this hidden treasure within us all, within us all. Within us all.
And thanks everyone for another wonderful service. Julie Ross, thank you so much for the two beautiful, beautiful songs, your original works of pure love. Thank you for sharing Corey Williams, oh, just always love our sing-alongs and, oh, your loving energy. And what a special thank you to Mary for that wonderful message and the reminder of just these foundational teachings and just to appreciating where we are on our path and saying yes to all these beautiful unfolding miracles that are there for us to see and to actually to really celebrate. And I would now also like to mention about the announcements that Linda Rose has a video that you can check out on the Facebook, the website, and also on YouTube. So she definitely check that out. It is just a wonderful description of some of the wonderful things she's doing in her the Saturday class that she holds every week, and just such good information for our health. And the other piece is to sign up for the e-announcements, because there's so much information that you'll be able to get. So if you're not already getting them, Samantha has them come out once a week, so it's just filled of all the really good information. So just make sure that you sign up and you'll get them right in your inbox. And then also, very exciting, we have a fellowship community garden coming. And Richard had mentioned the idea, so we're getting information together, and if whoever is interested, would be a wonderful way that we could participate in this, in a community garden. And now I'd like for us to join, and if you're able to, let's stand. We're going to gather for our wonderful peace circle, and we'll end with our closing blessing. But let's stand up and maybe just really open up those arms, like we're giving each other a hug or extending our hands to each other, and just truly feel that love that we've generated here with the beautiful messages from Mary, from the beautiful songs, and know that this energy and your presence here, it does ripple out into all the areas where it is needed the most.